welcome. It's me, Percita, and this is Percita's Paradox. So it is a beautiful, beautiful, chilly day. I'm so happy that the sun finally decided to at least show its face a little bit. And in that beauty of the sun coming out, it just was a beautiful, serene feeling that came over me that I just wanted to come on and share with you today. And I thought a great topic today would be just moving and functioning in this thing that we call peace. And I say that because there's so many times in our lives that we strive to find this space, right? This position of peace, that it becomes very difficult for us to differentiate how it moves and functions at different stages of our life. If you are new to this channel, I want to stop and say thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate your time, and I greatly appreciate you coming on and sharing with me your thoughts and energy and life and all that stuff on today. And I hope that you subscribe. And if you are an OG, of course, as always, I thank you so much for always continuing to support and staying in a steadfast personality trait of loyalty to my channel. Thank you so much. And thank you for all that you do to continue to keep us growing. So, to go back to this thing we call peace. When you think of peace, I'm just interested and curious as to, what exactly is it that you define peace to be? And I say that because I realize in talking to several people over my lifespan, I've heard it in different genres and I've heard it in different phases of people's lives. And in each phase, I notice that it can transform into whatever it is that we want it to be it tangible, be it financial, be it emotional, be it, a sense of environment mentally or physically. And when you ask a person something like, their peace and what it is to them, it's always interesting to really get the different perspectives of it. And I think about peace. For me, it's really a state of mind more so than it is anything else. I feel like if we can actually grasp it in our minds, then we can actually grasp it in every aspect of our lives. Now, I don't always get a lot of love for that. I've gotten a lot of pushback from people that just basically say, that it just manifests as it will. And typically it is not something that you can just say that it's in your mind because there's always some sense of chaos, or they feel like anxiety continues to persist within their lives and other people's lives. And I could say, truthfully, I could see that perspective. So I never really argue the pushback. Well, I don't really argue anyone's pushback, because regardless of what I believe in, if that's not something that you believe, I'm never going to push my opinion on you. But I do like to always have some sense of dialogue between what individuals think. And in that, I would say, for me, again, it starts and ends in the mind. And what I mean by that is that I feel like a lot of times we think things like speaking positive and being positive are states of mind that will bring forth peace. But for most of the individuals that I've interacted with, including myself at perspectives and times in my life, speaking positive, did something great for that temporary moment. And it pretty much went away, within minutes to hours to days of the speaking positive. Because the problem with speaking positive without any action is that it's just the words with absolutely no manifestation of anything transforming in the physicality for you to see. So it equates to, if you're listening to anyone who speaks on the Bible and what its contents are, there is a saying in the Bible that says faith without works is dead, right? And in saying that, it's pretty much the same perspective of what I'm saying in regards to peace. Is a funny thing because we don't really recognize that it is absolutely something that we are in complete control of. Meaning a lot of times we find ourselves waiting on the opportunity to be in peace. Meaning we don't really wake up every day with the idea that peace is something that we start our day with, we end our day with, if we choose to. Meaning, there's a thing that we have to do within ourselves every single day that just allows us to understand that if peace is really on the agenda every day for us, there are certain characteristics that you have to build within yourself to just understand that it's up to you. If you understand it from a mindset perspective, then it becomes a perception of an idea that it's not really a place per se. It's really completely a thought pattern of how you function, who you function around, and what you're doing. And to walk in that peace is really the most complicated portion of our lives daily. And again, it is a daily journey. There's a thing that literally is always spoken that comes out of the Bible that says faith without works is dead. The irony of peace is that it's the exact same thing. Peace can only work if you work it. So if you're not in a position of understanding that part of the story, I'm going to ask for you to just take 2 seconds and really meditate on when you feel like your peace is gone, when you feel out of control and completely lost and completely unable to find this thing we call peace. What exactly has transpired? What has happened in your way of moving, functioning, speaking, talking? Who's around you? What are the circumstances? I say that because, again, if we understand that it is something that we possess and we have to revitalize that possession every single day, we then understand that it's an acquired mindset. It's an acquired feeling. And to acquire something literally means that you have to go and seek it out. It's not given. Typically, we wait. And the wait for the peace is what kills us all, because we're waiting on someone or something to understand what they're doing and what they're not doing, or how it's working or how it's not working. And we're just not comprehending that we are in complete control, total control. Absolutely nothing about the situation is in anyone else's hands but your own. So I try to say there's a few things that you can think of in your mind that you know bring you peace, but for the things that don't, one of the best ways that I can always find myself revitalizing my idea of peace, especially when I feel like I'm losing it, is to just really step out of myself and ask the simple question of, after I've gotten upset, what will it help? What will it help? Anything at all. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, well, I'm going to go ahead and, cuss this person out, or I'm going to stop talking to this person, or whatever it is. I'm just starting to understand that it's really a diagnosis that we put on people. So I try my best to not diagnose people, meaning I stay in a peaceful place primarily most of the time, 99.9% of the time, because I just don't have the idea anymore in my head that people move the way I move. And I realized that once I eliminated that part of the genre of my mindset, my thought pattern, it made so much more sense in my world of me not really having to lose peace daily. There's still opportunities for people to push every button. There's still opportunities for me to lose my peace all the time. But again, if I'm understanding that as I wake up, it is something that I have to literally go and possess, that is why I think I have a better outcome on not losing it. Peace is really something that you need the same way you need the mobility of your hands, the same way you need the mobility of your eyes to blink, and so on and so forth. And if you understand that you couldn't function without your hands and your eyes very well, now don't get me wrong, there's people who do it and who had no other choice but to do it. I'm not speaking to those people. I'm speaking to the able-bodied people, okay? But in that mindset, I'm saying you really couldn't imagine trying to do anything without it. And if you look at your life in this perspective of peace, has to have that kind of position in your mindset. It has to have that kind of validity for you to understand that if you do not have that structure to understand when you're in a peaceful place, you make better decisions. When you're in a peaceful place, you're really not overly offended and you're not very sensitive, because you're just not looking for the negative or looking for the part where someone is doing you wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that there's an opportunity, again, for people to push your buttons. And sometimes we just simply lose it. We're all human. I'm not telling you to be perfect. I'm simply trying to give you a point on how you can not allow people to take your peace. And it's very, very interesting when you think about it that way, because most of us really don't understand what that means when you're in a position of like, what do you mean, Percita? I'm peaceful and I'm trying to be peaceful and I don't get anything about this conversation because everything I do is peace and girl, I walk in it and all of that. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the individuals who are having a very hard time and not allowing others to take their peace. Now, you might say, what does giving your peace to someone else look like? And what it looks like is you allowing a circumstance or situation that you cannot control to control your state of mind for any given amount of time throughout your day or lifespan. Again, peace is something that you understand you are completely and utterly in control. And in order to lose your peace, you have to give it away because it's something that you actually have and you possess, and it literally regenerates itself as long as you're feeding it and as long as you're using it. But the moment that you're not, you then are in a position where you become susceptible to lose it to other people. So what I mean by I don't diagnose people is I don't put myself in a position to allow them to tell me what my peace is going to look like in any given situation. So I ride on the ability to keep it in an acquired possessional place. Now, again, this is going to be something that I'll continuously talk about because I may be speaking over some people's heads and I may be in a position of you to say, like, I don't really get it, Percita. Like, what are you saying? In order to really have peace, you have to walk in it. You can't wait on it, right? You can't wait on someone to be willing to give it to you or for them to understand that you need it. You actually have to acquire it. So in order to acquire it, you have to seek it out and then keep it. And then cherish it and hide it. Because if you do anything else with it, there's no way for you to actually sustain it. So when I say it's a mindset, it really starts within yourself. It's not something that you need to speak. It's not something that you need to affirm with others at all. It is something that you just have to know that you have. It equates to the same way that you know that your eyeballs blink and your hands move and you don't need anyone else to tell you that those things happen. Peace is the exact same thing. And if at any given moment you do not understand that, is when you find yourself up late at night, completely stressed out, breaking out, gaining weight, whatever it is, that losing your money, overspending, trying to impress people, whatever it is, that's what happens. So in saying all of that, the goal is to continuously understand that you have to have it. You have to. It equates to when we went into the pandemic and everyone flipped out about toilet paper. Now, the irony of this conversation is that no one understood why everyone was panicking about something as trivial as toilet paper until the trivia became an issue for each individual person who did not have the toilet paper. Then it became a serious issue because you're trying to figure out, one, why do they need to take it? But two, oh my gosh, I really am not used to living my life without it. Kind of see where I'm going with that? So if you catch it, peace is something that you don't even really know that you need until you don't have it. Because it seems as if it's something that everyone would just have naturally, and you kind of take it for granted, same way we did toilet paper. And you're kind of in a position where you're like, well, no big deal. I'm going to just literally go off and I'll sit in a quiet space, or I'll take a vacation, or I'll cut off the TV, or I'll get off of social media, whatever it is that you feel like you use as a a ritual or routine to find your peace. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with any of those things. I'm just simply saying when you get to a place that you utilize your peace like you do your eyes and your hands, you're never going to take your hands off, right? You're never going to close your eyes willingly in the middle of needing them. So you want to be in a position of understanding it from that place, which is why I'm stressing the point. Peace is something that really is a mindset. Once you have that mindset, things that are tangible, from the money to the home to the status to whatever it is that you feel like, once I get it, I'm going to be able to sit back and chill and be quote unquote peaceful. You'll understand why those things are fleeting, meaning the same way you can get them is the same way you can lose them. Peace is not something that you necessarily have to ever lose, because it is something that is instrumental to your life, to your being, to you just being the best you are. So I know I probably gave you a lot of information, might have put you on a path of just a slight confusion, but we'll touch on it more. I don't want the video to be too long, but I do want you to understand that it is something that you have to walk in. It is not something that you wait for. It is not something that you allow others to control. Peace is up to you. And I say that today you decide to walk in the peace and not wait for the peace to acquire. You walk in it. You move in it. You function in it. You keep it because it's yours and you deserve it. So, as usual, thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate your time. You are amazing. Your comments have been fantastic. Your sharing has been fantastic. Again, the channel is growing. Some of you all are just absolutely in the best positions ever to share. And some of you are like, girl, I have no one to share this video with. But when I do, I will. Feel free, whoever you are at any given moment. Check out all the other videos. I have a lot of videos on this channel. So I'm sure there's something that you can find that will bring you closer into this paradox that we call ourselves over here on this lovely channel, and you can bring something to the forefront. If you have a topic that you'd like to talk about, hit me, of course, in the Gmail that I listed in the comments, or make a comment in the comment about it. Otherwise, as always, remember to do 3 things. Live life authentic. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Next time we see each other, hopefully it will actually be spring outside. Can't wait. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.